wearing headphones.
No.
I can hear the echo in the.
Oh, for fun. How? The fucking blanket's not dampen it out or something? I don't know. I don't know how technology. I don't know how these things work.
Well, hey everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome to a typical opening for Kristi and Kevin's Hangout tonight with special guest
You
culture.
didn't even call it the right fucking name.
Hello.
Jesus Christ, woman.
Oh, is it?
Kristi and Kevin's
Get off my
Hangout.
back.
When has it ever been called that?
Oh yeah, you're right. Because that's what I wrote on the screen in the middle of doing something else and multitasking. Yeah, you're right. It's Kristi and Kevin's happy hour.
Yay!
Indeed.
And I've been elevated from the chat. So,
Well, Hank,
this is,
yeah, we should say you. I mean, the reason you're here is because you're not here. You're there.
Quite.
Yes.
that's a very cryptic of saying things.
Yes, indeed.
I think we need a
You're in Cologne.
Yes.
So
yes, welcome to the special guest, and we're doing this as we always do, very spontaneously and not professional, evidenced by the fact that I didn't get the title right in the first time I set up the video. Yay me! But what we do have tonight are some things for you. We're going to talk about them. First up, we're going to talk about Blaire White and something she recently
should we
said.
not say something about the fact that we have a guest? Introduce the guest properly in that, or is that not?
we need,
Did we? Sorry. Okay. So yeah, Hank's in Cologne anyway.
yeah,
That's the point.
yes, that's why, because I'm at Christie's, and so they thought, well, he's here anyway. We can ignore him for an hour, or we can have him on the show.
Yeah.
So
Well, Chris, I was just going to say, Hank, is the reason you've travelled to Germany because you finally realised that it's the superior country and you've abandoned your homeland?
Well, yeah, very hard to find a Dutchman who will argue with that. Because we, the Dutch, we're not that into our country, except with soccer or football.
Yeah, I was about to say this. The seas of orange at football stadiums would suggest otherwise, but if it's just a football thing, that's cool.
That's the only thing. We have a saying in the Netherlands: if something is really good and it's Dutch, we're saying it's so good it can't be Dutch.
Sounds like something the English would say.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you have a very
you
have a very English sensibility to you, which is nice. I like that.
Yeah, we're proud of the horrible things. Basically, that's it. We're like, oh, we used to be a world power.
Oh God, yeah, we got that too. Yeah.
Grips. No. You still think you're a world power. That's the difference.
Well, we've got nuclear weapons. Yeah, we've got nuclear weapons, so we can pretend like we've got something. But that's
you still hand out things like blah blah of the English Empire. Like what's that?
Oh yeah.
That's
MBEs, members of the British Empire, or Order of the British Empire. Yeah.
Officer, blah blah. We don't do that. Because we realized, oh, it's not really much left anymore. So.
Well, exactly, but you didn't have a great empire anyway. You had a few fucking islands in the Pacific. Embarrassing. You let yourselves down. We took fucking India and America and all that. We had all of it. All of your land and resources are belong to us. I mean, is there a country in the world
our colonial past? The Dutch Indies.
Yeah, is there a country in the world that Britain didn't slaughter indigenous populations on? Come on now.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
And the thing is, I say that ironically.
I must say more awful than the Dutch. I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I say things like this ironically, like to expose how terrible it is. But there are people in Britain who actually view it that way. Like, yeah, we civilized the Indians.
No, but it's the same thing in the Netherlands where Geert Wilders had a poster for one of the political campaigns where he said, "Oh, it's the seven." He was dressed as a Dutch admiral. So and say, "Oh, that's when we had our empire." I'm like, seriously, it's so bad.
I just realized that people who tuned in are going to wonder what happened to my voice.
Yeah. When did Kristi become Raymond van Barneveld? When did that happen? What? Indeed, I did, but I did it because there was one. I love her to bits, but she's an odd person who decided to go on a campaign of under every video I'd made for the last 2 weeks. Go, you should change your avatar picture, Kev. Seriously, you should change your fucking picture, Kev. Yeah, so I did because I think that's some shit you might get out of someone from like Misery or something. So I don't want to get like my legs broken in a bed.
Oh, I still love that film so much.
That is a good
She
film.
was so good.
Oh
Kathy
yeah,
Bates.
Bateman. Kathy Bates was fucking brilliant. Yeah. Yes. Anyways,
enough of this gay banter.
from one psychopathic woman to another, Kristi. No, I'm only joking.
Yes.
Blaire.
Okay.
Psych. Yeah.
So by the way, because we've been running around doing, I haven't prepared a trivia question, and Kevin refuses to come up with a sports one tonight. So we're just gonna jump right in.
I refuse to put in any amount of effort. That's the point, Kristi. I don't want people to think that like this isn't what's the word I'm looking for? Out of the blue or something out of the ordinary. This is a consistent lack of any effort put in by me. That is a guarantee.
It's very interesting that it takes a lot of effort to have that little effort.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I want people to see how much little effort I put in.
It's a point of pride, really.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I am a proudful sloth, not the little animal. I mean, like a lazy person. Although I would like to be a lazy sloth.
Oh, that'd be great.
Doesn't it take a lot of effort to be, you know?
Yeah, well, I have to get out of bed occasionally, so I mean, I might as well put on a show that I'm alive. Well, that's the thing. Family ring me up and they want to check whether I'm okay. Leave me alone. Why do you care about this?
But they don't see if you're alive.
No, I'm just a curmudgeon. Yeah, me and Rory Katz want to be left the fuck alone by the world. That's all. Is that so much to ask? Anyway.
So I think you dropped out. Yes. So for me, I'm going to screen share. Now, this was your pick, Kevin. You recommended this video.
Yeah, this is remarkable. I mean, some of the revelations, and we need to play a sort of game as we go along with this. If we just play the first like 20 seconds, that sets it up, and then skip to about 7 minutes in, because the first 7 minutes are kind of boring and it's not really relevant. She lists a number of like fake things with the political commentary scene that she's involved with or was involved with, and I think it's interesting to see if people can guess the people she's referring to, because she doesn't name names, but I think we can have a pretty decent guess as to the people she's talking about.
Okay, from this, excuse me, earlier, and from what I remember, the first part of it.
Also, why have you skipped 4 seconds in? The very start of it is funny. The very, very start, the first.
No, I refuse.
Why?
I refuse to put that on my screen because I saw that and went, she deliberately edited that in.
Yes, exactly. So show the people what a cynical fucking piece of garbage this person is. Show them. I demand.
You make a good point. No, you make a good point. I'm just all right. So I was gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
what was I thinking?
It's a relatively contemptible approach he takes, but it's relevant to the character of the person we're talking about here. She's
All right.
Yeah.
Now we haven't tested the sound for this. There we go.
Titties.
So we're gonna try. Yeah, we're gonna try a sound test, and we'll let it go, and then let us give us some feedback, Kevin. So.
Okay.
She just accidentally left the shot of her tits really close to the camera.
I'm actually
sorry, is that
a diary video? So if
is that too?
That's a little bit too quiet. If we can up that a little bit, that would be cool. It was a little bit too soft. If we can just up the volume a little bit. Hello.
Where's my remote?
Hello.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Oh, sorry. Well, if you don't respond to me, I assume I've cut out, because that's always what fucking happens.
This is an issue of like my internet being overloaded because I'm streaming and playing and recording at the same time.
Well, all I'm going to say is fuck you, Germany. That's
we're also in a
wait. Are you in a position with British broadband to judge my internet?
Oh yeah, but we're actually a shit country. Germany's like got some infrastructure and stuff, and a semblance of fucking national like nous to it. Britain's rubbish.
All right, so I'm gonna turn off my Wi-Fi on my phone.
Britain has taken very much the approach that if we don't actually try and achieve anything, we can never be disappointed. So let's just be mediocre.
Yes. Okay, another sound check. See how this one is.
The case, hello self, and if it's you on the internet, hello.
Now, you wanted me to just we can't just play it. So do you want me to skip ahead, or do you want to just shout out when you want to do commentary?
First, well, we already commented on her opening.
Yeah, she just accidentally left the obviously gratuitous shot of her tits right in front of the camera. That was purely an accident, I'm sure. There's nothing cynical about that. There's nothing about her wanting to be a little wank doll at all. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Sadly for the internet, this it won't like the speed thing on it won't bring up the image, so you can't just bring up a little mini version of her opening shot.
Yeah.
Well, basically,
anyway,
imagine
yes,
that exact shot, but with her tits right up against the camera. She just sat down and left it on there.
It was on for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's well. I mean, you can still see exactly what it was, but just really close to the camera. Just imagine that. It's fine.
Yeah. A little bit, because she talks about like.
Yeah, if we go to if she just explains the next 10, 15 seconds, it sets up the thing, and then go to about 7 minutes in. Hello.
She's
me content. I was
Hello.
threatened, etc. Yeah.
Did we drop out again?
You did. You went quite robotic, and then came back with Hank going me, which is fun.
Yeah. Let me start again. I'm a bit skeptical. It didn't happen. I'm saying she has lied before about certain aspects of attack. So I'm quite skeptical.
Yes.
But then she says some interesting parts, and we're going to the interesting parts now, I believe.
So for the quality of the audio, and so that we don't keep talking over each other because the sound cuts out, I'm just going to do the audio for this because my
that's probably
so
that's probably best because it's just her sat down anyway. There's no visual. You've seen her tits. That's visually all that's vaguely interesting.
That's what you want.
It's what she put first in her.
Well, exactly. Yeah, she put her goods up front, so to speak. Yes. One aspect actually in the, like I say, if you skip forward to about 7 minutes, that's when she starts talking about the sort of fakeness or whatever. But one thing in between that, the bit that we're going to skip, that I found quite interesting, she talks about being attacked in an LGBT club and says, "Oh well, you'd imagine that would be a safe space for someone like me." Why, Blaire? You're an incredibly transphobic piece of garbage. You've purposefully misgendered trans people. Why the fuck would you expect? It's like saying, well, a hardcore Christian fundamentalist pastor should be safe in an LGBT club. Why? Why would you expect that?
She does describe it's like it's the Jets versus the Sharks. I got West Side Story vibes. She's really, that I liked, but yeah, it's not that she. And later on, she says, "Well, oh my God, I'm asked to be mean to trans people. I would never do that." I'm like,
yeah, I know that was ridiculous. Yeah, you've made your fucking living doing that. What are you talking about? You've built your entire channel on being mean to trans people, amongst others, of course. But yeah, Milo Stewart and Riley Dennis are two that spring to mind. But she also spread horrific lies about the young trans girl and her family, the one that was on the front cover of National Geographic. Spread lies about her mother, which led to her mother getting death threats, which was fun. Yeah, she's also attacked Zinnia Jones, being incredibly transphobic. And specifically, the thing that they asked her to do was to attack the way the trans person looks. That's her entire shtick. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
We had a little tech. Yep, we're back. Sorry, we had fewer technical problems, but one at the end. But yeah, should we go ahead and play the video then?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm at about minute 7.
Right.
It's
Yeah, okay, there we go.
worth it. So another big reason why I've been so turned off from doing political commentary is the other people, as my peers, people that I've worked with, other commentators. Kind of want to be careful with what I even say here, but I moved to LA almost a year ago, and one thing about LA is there's a lot of work here. So a political commentators, other people who you guys know here, a lot of them either live in LA or they're a convert thing, doing whatever they do.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can you even hear what I'm.
I don't know why up here.
Can you hear me?
We're on a show with.
Hello.
To a dinner with. That close with either directly or in a roundabout.
Kristi.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, there's a hit actually. Yes. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now. This is ridiculous. This isn't.
Yeah, this isn't
virtually
gonna work.
This isn't broadcastable. This fucking. I was hearing tiny snippets of that.
Agree.
We're just gonna have to talk about the video rather than playing anything. Apologies for technical nonsense. Right.
Yeah, my computer actually, like, the screen went black, so I'm pretty happy we're still at broadcasting, to be honest.
Why did you have to? Why did you have to mention the race of the computer screen? There's no need.
Thank you. Yes.
Blaire White. She goes on to mention that she was on a person's show who admitted to having been very transphobic on air because that's what the viewers like. Which means, why would you go on that show then, you twat?
Okay, but it was in a green room of a show.
Yeah, she was in a green room before going on that show, and the host said that he didn't actually believe any of that. He was just doing it for the bit, like for the views.
Yeah, but and it's also the guy who used to be on one side until the money flowed in from the other side. I wonder who that.
Dave Rubin.
Yeah. Oh.
You think?
You think?
It's a wild stab in the dark. Who could possibly tell? Yeah, she's not exactly incredibly cryptic about it. Although you wouldn't even guess she was from California, like from the way she talked. Oh fucking hell! It's just unlistenable. I mean, that's was it
Frank Zappa?
Small mercies that our technical problems means you don't have to listen to that fucking voice of hers. Jesus.
Yes.
No, I was reminded of Valley Girl by Frank Zappa, where
yes,
there's that in that voice that always goes up. But that's superficial. Someone can have the voice that always goes up and still be a nice person, but she lies for 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's like anything. It's like any regional either an accent or piece of vernacular or whatever. If it's mild enough, it's never really that much of a problem, and it's not an insight into the person. It's just the way they talk, right? But yeah, it is. She's infuriating because it's not as if she's using that voice and saying reasonable things. Like if she was actually educating her channel, her viewers and that using that voice, that wouldn't be a problem. But it's garbage being told in a garbage way, which is not ideal. So she basically calls out Dave Rubin, which is fun. Although it doesn't have the bottle to actually say so because she doesn't want to lose her, subscribers necessarily.
And she also says that a certain guy gave her a tip when she was going on vacation by a company who ripped her off, by the way.
But she's not playing. Yeah, but she's not playing the victim. But that was the second time she'd mentioned, like, "Oh, I've been attacked, and now I've been the company have ripped me off." Oh god.
And the person who she talked to said you should hire protesters and make signs. On which she was shocked, I tell you, that apparently other people do this as well.
Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos. Definitely Milo. But also, it's for me confirms something I've already known. I think that the person who threw water in her face that time, if you remember, That was definitely staged. There's no way that wasn't staged.
She might have been trying it out herself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think she didn't necessarily like that, which I think probably speaks well to her on a certain level. That I think she probably does have some ethical qualms about it, having tried it out and not really particularly liked it. She's happier at the sort of softer end of the grift spectrum. I don't think she could possibly really do a full Dave Rubin, so to speak, he's the hard end. Because he clearly doesn't believe anything he's saying. If you look at the way in which he's been covering for Ben Shapiro, we had Ben Shapiro on his show, and Ben Shapiro basically said that gay people are basically fucking inferior, and I don't think you should be allowed to get married. Fuck you, queers. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the basic gist of it. Right to Dave Rubin's face, who's gay and married. And Dave Rubin's basically defended it like the spineless, bootlicking piece of garbage that he is.
Well, maybe he was scared because Ben Shapiro looks like a possessed ventriloquist dummy.
He does. Yes, he does. Yeah.
So I would be agreeing with a possessed ventriloquist dummy in the hope he would go away. So I'm maybe defending Dave Rubin here, but that could be it.
You're very generous.
Yeah,
Hank.
that's me. That's me. I'm a very generous person. I like to think the best of people, except Ben Shapiro.
Except Ben Shapiro, who is a possessed ventriloquist dummy. Yes.
But yeah, so it's basically she's throwing everyone under the bus without having the balls to call them by their names.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad, really. You watched her videos of her numbers. What?
Her views aren't really. Well, she doesn't put out videos all that often, but her views weren't all that great. But on the whole thing, I've kind of been waiting for you guys to finish because I wanted to do sort of a summation of it. That sorry, in the beginning of her video, she mentions that she got involved to be a commentator and comment on politics because she wanted to speak truth to power. Right? Here was her chance. And what does she say when she makes a video describing why she's not talking about politics? It's not because I care about these issues, but I'm going to work on them in a different way. This is having too much negative consequences that I don't want to deal with. I don't really care about these issues, so I'm just going to stop doing it and do what makes me happy. And yet she said she got on to do political commentary to speak truth to power. Speak truth to power the people that you are too afraid to name check because they are taking money from people and you know it's a con. So where is your dignity? If you actually had any core values, now is the time to stand up and name names and call this stuff out and say, yeah, you did say that.
Then she'd be completely off the grift bandwagon. Yeah. And she can't do that. Like I say, she wants to be on the soft end of the grift spectrum, and calling these people out would make her the enemy. And she knows she can't switch lanes at this point. She can't go, oh, now I'm on the left. It's too obvious, too blatant.
Yeah, but Lacey Green's views are down too. I mean, Blaire's video on
Lacey's been trying to backtrack like fuck from all the transphobic stuff and all of that. Yeah, because basically she built up the audience of SJWE type people, and then went full cunt bag, and now all of a sudden wants to be like, oh no, my views are fucking going through the floor, and I don't really have any academic credibility because I've been hanging out with transphobic garbage. Oh shit. Yeah. So fuck her. I'd happily see that channel crumble into the dust, but whatever.
I just don't see the kinds of people who went to Blaire's channel to follow that sort of content and her drama around it are going to be that interested in watching videos on her boyfriend taking a lie detector test to see if he cheated on her.
Yeah, I think she wants to do the occasional Trumpian video, but largely do the kind of 10 reasons not to cheat on an ex or whatever. One of those fucking dumb channels that gets millions of views. That's what she wants,
Yeah, but there are talented people who do that stuff. And to be honest, I mean, all she has to do is edit her own video. And it's still, you need to know when to cut, And she repeats everything 4 times in that video alone because she likes to hear herself talk.
Yes.
But it's but what I found strange is that she said, there are like 3 good ones in the entire Manospherian thing. Name them. But that's the problem.
Well, that was what I found really funny. She said It's not all of them, obviously. There are like 3 good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not all of them. There are 3 good. Yeah, that's basically all of them. Then you dickhead. What are you talking about?
But now she's throwing everyone under the bus because she won't name the 3 good ones. And with the 3
Yeah.
good ones, we mean people who actually believe horrific, hateful shit. So they're not.
Yeah, exactly. The good ones are basically trash garbage. The other ones are just pretending to be. Oh, brilliant! What a sack of shit they all are. Then.
Yeah. So and also she keeps saying that, oh yeah, everyone who does political videos doesn't really believe it. And now that you made that excellent point, that's just no, it's just a right. They're all grifters.
Yeah, it's a total grift. It's so obviously a grift. Look, I contacted Lauren Southern. I doubt she'll get back to me, but I contacted her because I want to know what happened to the money that they collected when they were going to sue the United Kingdom government for banning her from entrance, a lawsuit that was never even filed. The money went somewhere.
Yeah, is that going to be a new video? Like, you thinking about doing any kind of new videos?
Perhaps. I'll wait to see. I mean, if she doesn't get back, which I presume she won't. We've had some back and forth anyway. But if she doesn't get back on that, which I presume she won't.
I think she was trying to prod you in a new. You wanted to try something out. A new kind of show. You wanted to.
Oh right! Oh bollocks! I totally forgot about that. Oh fuck!
Pitch. I was trying to set you up for a pitch. Thanks, Hank, for catching that.
Yes, thank you, Hank, for actually taking notice of what Kristi says. I should take notice. I should listen to what my co-host has to say on various things. I rarely do. I'm very lazy. Thank you. Yes, Kristi. I was going to pitch a new series, which I should have done at the start when people would more likely be attentive or whatever. Yeah, I was going to do a series called Toxic Masculinity in Pop Music, which will be a series of video essays, about 20 to 30 minutes in length, where I take on individual songs with really nasty sort of toxic elements to them, largely in the lyrics, because I failed to see how you could have toxic masculinity in actual music as such. But I'm sure it might be there. Anyway, yeah, and it'll be. I'm going to. What sparked this idea in my head was from years ago. A song called "When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman" by Dr. Hook, which, for those who don't know, is a really nice, pleasant piece of music. But if you actually analyze the lyrics, they're fucking awful. It's this man who's incredibly distrusting and bitter. Who doesn't? I mean, because if you don't love someone, so if you don't trust them, then you don't love them. It's very simple. You can't have love without trust. All that is sort of caring. That's all. Then he goes on about all of his friends trying to steal her, which again shows possessiveness, that you see this person as a possession rather than as an independent being. And secondly, why are you hanging around with these people? Why these are supposedly his friends that want to steal his partner? What the fuck? So there's all that kind of mixed in there. And then we've got other examples. There's loads. I mean, I've got the first sort of 10 already lined up.
Yeah.
Which is fucking creepy.
What was that? Sorry?
Every breath you take by the police.
Yes, that's an incredibly creepy one. That will be coming up. Although we'll be doing another police song before that one, actually, which is I Can't Stand Losing You, which is an amazing. So again, a nice piece of music, but the lyrics are awful. Which it's classic abusive behavior, whereby a woman leaves this bloke and he starts going down this rabbit hole of threatening to hurt himself in order to cause this woman pain. And it includes the line, "I guess you call it suicide, but I'm too something to swallow my pride," and then goes on about you'll have all this guilt on you for him having killed himself over this. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I've got that one. Blurred Lines, obviously, by Robin Thicke. And Pharrell, why did he get involved with that garbage?
May I ask a question which is related to this? This is "I'm in Love with Your Body." That song, by what's his name again? The ginger dude.
There's so many of them.
No, the ginger dude with the guitar.
Simple Minds. It's the ginger dude.
No, it's a
Ed Sheeran.
Song. Ed Sheeran, yeah.
Oh.
I'm in love with your body. And,
right.
I always hated that song because you're not in love with someone's body.
Actually, yeah, that's a common theme, because that's the thing I'm going to be doing. Each video essay will be on an individual song, but there are themes throughout it.
Yeah.
One of which is, like I say, seeing this person as a possession, seeing women as possessions, and to a degree, actually seeing men as possessions as well. These are not positive views of other people. They're often incredibly misanthropic at best. And not seeing them as individuals with agency and all that sort of stuff. And also, I've noticed as well, there's a certain amount of introspection, but it's almost always excused as well within the song. Like sometimes they'll say, "I wish I could trust you, but I'm not a trusting person," as if that's fine, as if that's in of itself okay, which it isn't. So I'll be exposing that, and hopefully, elucidating on how men can avoid such toxic ideas themselves.
Nice.
I think it's a really great idea.
Well, thank you. Yes, and I'd like to get some feedback from people as to that, because it'll be a lot of effort. Because I'm actually going to make proper videos rather than I won't even be on camera as such. It'll be proper videos, and I won't be able to really monetize them because it will contain bits of the songs. So EMI will get the money or whatever, So.
Well, I'm going to say this would be a big change for you, Kevin. Doing work.
How dare you? Well, no, to be fair, right, my Dissenters Manosphere videos are incredibly work intensive, so the rest of my stuff is shit.
No, it's because when we started the opening of the show and you said you were too lazy to think of a question, it's a callback to.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but it's true. It's still true.
Yeah.
So, shall we go toxic masculinity to the toxic masculinity of Tucker Carlson?
If you can make a little bridge.
A bridge between that.
What Blaire White said. Because Blaire White said she was on a certain conservative channel. She was asked.
Oh yeah.
If she was willing to defend a certain position, Blaire White didn't say which position, and also comment on on calling a certain trans woman not a true woman because she didn't. This is in quotation mark. Look like a real woman. I wonder which channel that is.
Fox
There's
News.
Only one.
Fox News.
Yeah.
Fox News. But also, interestingly, Blaire, that's like as we said, that's in her entire shtick. She literally put a picture of Voldemort over Riley Dennis's Adam's apple, which isn't even that prominent anyway. Like, it's ridiculous, disgusting behavior. So the idea that she's above that is, well, false. Just plainly fucking false.
What Blaire White is actually saying is the hatred needs to come from the inside.
Yes.
It needs to come from herself.
Exactly.
She needs to be a despicable person. She needs to be behind that.
She can't do manufactured hatred. The bitterness within her soul is what needs to come forward.
Yeah,
yes.
She needs to taste it.
But moving on back to the network, which I think is currently #1 in terms of producing sexual predators.
Yes.
In terms of hiring and keeping and retaining sexual
predators. Bill
O'Reilly,
sexual predator Bill O'Reilly, which we can say legally because he's a sexual predator, Bill O'Reilly. Yes.
Oh no,
and Roger Ailes, sexual pervert.
It's not. It was on. What was it called? Again, I just recently named $32 million for having non-consensual sex, which is
rape. He raped a woman. Yeah. He's a rapist.
Yeah, for $32 million, you buy a euphemism.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you get your illegal acts scrubbed off the legal record, it seems, because he's not going to serve a day in prison for it, and you get to couch it in a little phrase rather than it being Bill O'Reilly the rapist. Because Bill O'Reilly, did you know this, people, is a rapist?
And his successor, Tucker Carlson, who looks like a hairy thumb, by the way.
Yes, and as someone pointed out on Twitter, it's very good. The face he pulls, that kind of frown of not knowing, it looks like he's having sex explained to him for the first time.
Yes, that's exactly it. And he's clearly, I don't want spoilers. He doesn't seem to be a match for Michael Avenatti, the lawyer of Stormy Daniels, who I thought of him. I wanted to describe him once, and I thought he's what if a shark was a biped? Michael,
That's so good. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
like in a good way, not like
No,
like
in a good way.
Sharknado way.
Yeah,
he's
not
like,
not in a way where he tears apart seals with his bare fucking jaws. No, that's not.
no. He just does that to Fox
Idiots.
News anchors.
Exactly. Yeah, Tucker Carlson. Well, if Tucker Carlson is going to put blood into the water like that, he's going to get torn apart by the biped shark. What the fuck?
So
Oh,
I
God.
had a brilliant idea because I'm smart. I could play the audio for the Tucker Carlson Michael Avenatti thing a little bit on my phone if you want.
That would be delightful, Kristi. Please do.
Because I can do it on my mobile minutes, and that way it's not interfering with my Wi-Fi, which maybe
Oh,
it's not.
By the way, you can tell she's a European now because she didn't say cell phone.
Oh yeah, man. If she was German, she'd say handy.
I did actually the other day say
What
something
is
like,
voice mein handy?
Yeah.
Oh, someone's been watching Stephen Fry on QI.
Indeed. That will. It is.
How-
But the thing is, Germany is so camp. It's delightful. Well, apart from the fascists in Chemnitz, but never mind. Let's scrub over that, shall we?
The problem is we have fascists everywhere. So
That's true.
Yes, indeed.
we need pest control on Nazis.
Exactly. Well, we already mentioned fucking Beavis Wilders earlier. Yes.
While we're setting this up, I just found out yesterday there's a bunch of Nazi tabletop game in Germany.
Oh, he brought this up and was
Which
very
is
excited to tell you.
amazing.
Right.
It's based on a book of an anarchist living with a communist kangaroo, and they go on adventures together.
Hang on.
That's a
Time
German
out.
book.
How would it? I've got so many questions already. How would a kangaroo be communist? How does
He
it
is
show
communist.
this?
Just accept it. This is German humor, and this is the reason.
Yeah, but no. I have to drill down into this. How would a kangaroo show its communistness?
Well, first of all, they share their own pouch with their kids.
Well, yeah, but I mean, humans share a house with kids. It's the same basic deal.
No, it isn't. It's not.
It is.
I didn't
Kangaroos
live in my
can't build
mom's
houses.
asshole for like 18 years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but kangaroos, the thing is, it's there to protect and house their young, and they can't put bricks and cement together, so they've got a pouch. It's the same basic deal.
No,
How would it?
isn't.
And also,
I disagree.
who's giving kangaroos communist literature?
Well, apparently, this guy, and he's living with the kangaroo, and they go on adventures, and someone turned that into
Hello.
Someone turned that into a tabletop game, and when you
hang on, no, we cut out. I've got questions still. Who's handing out copies of the Communist Manifesto to kangaroos? Who's doing that?
Germans are doing this.
Right. Okay.
Germans are not a logical people.
Well, they're not an empathic people either. So what are they? What good are you, Germans? Jesus.
They're philosophical people.
Well, they are. Well, Karl Marx, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm almost finished. So when you reach a certain card,
no, you're not finished. No, you're not finished. You're not finished. You're Dutch. You're not finished. You're Dutch.
No, please stop interrupting me.
That's a call forward to the Tucker Carlson thing.
I promised if I was on the show that you would not interrupt me.
Well, hang on, I wouldn't have fucking agreed to you being on the show then, because that's not how the show works.
Well, at least you're honest. You're more honest than Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. Okay, but if you reach a certain card and the Nazi comes up, the last one to smash the hand on him, loses. And I like that.
What? Okay, I'm still stuck on communist kangaroo.
Yeah.
Why is the so is the kangaroo living in Germany now?
Yes.
Right.
There are communists in Germany, I'm sure.
Well, there are communists in Germany. I don't know there are many kangaroos or communist kangaroos. And I'm not. Are kangaroos capable of that level of political thought?
That kangaroo was. I'm not saying it's not a special kangaroo. But yeah, I need to look up the name of the dude
of the kangaroo. You need to look up the name of the kangaroo and give me its phone number because he sounds fascinating.
You want to take him out around the pub, have a chat.
Exactly. Just be like. So anyway, Skippy, tell me all about your revolutionary ideas. I'm fascinated. And can you not gnaw on my face or try and disembowel me with your back legs?
The Kangaroo Manifest. Das Kangaroo Manifest.
Oh, the Kangaroo Manifesto?
Yeah. His name is Mark Uwe Kling.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it's true. It's a book. There are 3 books. She told me there are 3 books of an anarchist, an anarchist man and a communist kangaroo, and it turned into a tabletop.
Well, I love
I'm
the fact
serious.
that you pointed out that the anarchist is a man. I'm glad I know that. Right, so
Yeah.
you've got a
Well, he's not
human,
speciesist like you, Kevin.
a human anarchist, and a kangaroo, a communist kangaroo, and some sort of fascist hippopotamus walk into a bar. What the fuck is this? Delightful is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Kangaroo
apologies. I'm
Manifesto.
sure you had a really serious and introspective point which was going to further the story.
No,
and
I
lead
just
us
wanted
on
to make you
something.
happy that there is a tabletop game which beats Nazis.
I
Which is
am.
good.
I mean, I'm extremely happy, but I'm bemused and slightly turned on by the idea of communist kangaroos. I'll be honest.
Yes, I know. I knew.
I'm
you
having
would like
weird
it.
feelings. I can't explain them, but you know.
Yeah, you want to sit in a pouch now, don't you?
Well, I've wanted to do that forever. That sounds amazing. Jumping about in a little pouch.
Yeah.
Also, did you know you can essentially kidnap baby kangaroos by putting a plastic bag over them, and they will instantly fall over, and you can just pick them up and walk away.
Oh, it's adorable and frightening at the same time.
Terrifying. But yes, that you can do that because essentially once you cover them up, they fall asleep because that's what they do in the pouch.
Oh,
Because the mother has enough time trying to hop and balance with this baby in its pouch without it moving.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, do we
And I
wanna go
fail to
from-
see how that leads to communism, but I want to know. So
Well, should we go
if there are
from-
any communist kangaroos out there listening, please get in contact.
I think I broke Kevin.
Yes, you may have.
You
He loves
did.
the
You have.
kangaroo.
My brain is now oozing out of my ears as we speak.
We're gonna have to track down that game. Send you a copy.
Yes, please do. And I
Alright.
will probably explode.
So from fighting Nazis and punching and kangaroos, communist kangaroos. Sorry, we can go to fighting words on Fox News, where a smart person beat up on a much less smart person.
What you could have gone with is from a hopping leftist to a hopping mad right winger.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Hey, come on now. That's the level we're working on, people.
So in this video, it kind of starts off with Tucker Carlson doing an opening and saying, you know, Michael Avenatti's finally coming on and all this stuff. And here he is. He's got his chance to talk to the guy who is looking to depose the president, and instead he just talks utter bollocks. So I'm fast forwarding through this. It's not as exciting as what Blaire had in her first seconds of the video. Okay, so I'm just going to skip.
Well,
that.
I have to say I'm disappointed that Tucker Carlson didn't get his tits out.
Yeah,
that
he
was a
should
shame.
also do that every.
I
single
think he has a reasonable B cup.
If I ever get a news show, you can guarantee there will be a close up on my bollocks
They're a
every
bit
night.
hairy, but
What your what was it, a cold sore? No, it was.
Yeah. To pretend it's a cold sore, you stick a bollock through the back, and it's there.
That was from last week. So okay, right. Tucker Carlson. Let's hear him.
And from bollocks and infectious diseases to Tucker Carlson, appropriate, really. There we go.
a talking ball sack.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends ask me that question.
A little
wait.
little bit louder if we can, please.
Yeah, I know. Actually, bugger.
Bugger me.
Yes. I went. I'm back in our conversation because I have to go find the original link. So apologies for that.
Well, this is an absolute
Going back to
disgrace.
kangaroos.
When this show was hosted on my channel, we didn't have any of these technical problems. It was fucking seamless.
Yes.
This
That's how you
is a
remember it.
shambles.
We remember that show very differently.
Well, you can't say that show anymore because I've had multiple shows. I posted several now.
At least
nowhere
three.
near my fair share, but several. So there.
That's what you said.
Hey.
Okay. See if all right, here we go.
Talking about running for office for president. He's released his positions on major issues. He's traveled to Iowa and New Hampshire and Michigan and Ohio. He seems serious about it. We've invited him on the show many times to talk about his plans, but he's always declined until tonight. He's now agreed to appear on our set, provided we give him time to state his case, and we're of course happy to do that.
They don't do that, by the way. Tucker does not let him state his case, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Because he refused to abuse trans people, and that's all that Fox News can do now, apparently.
All right, so
In the past, he's also demanded that we stop referring to him by a certain unflattering nickname. And we haven't agreed to that demand, but tonight, as a gesture of goodwill, we will not use that nickname because we're always great.
Hang on, what nickname is this?
The nickname is the creepy porn lawyer.
And they use it still because they're lying to him.
Because even though the creepy porn lawyer.
Well, hang on. The creepy porn lawyer is ridiculous, given that, as we discussed, both Roger Ailes and what's his fucking name, Bill Maher, Bill O'Reilly, are rapists, sexual harassers. Yes.
Wasn't there a third dude who also?
Yeah, there was a guy with dark hair who was part of the Fox 5 or Fox 4 who got booted off.
Fox 5 sounds like a superhero team.
Or Fox and Friends. Whatever it is. I don't watch Fox News. But yeah, another guy got kicked off too for allegations. But this is the thing. He calls him,
if Fox and Friends is going to be a superhero team, it's going to have to be like the anti-Justice League.
Yes. Yeah. The anti-justice for anyone but rich white guys and their family league.
The Injustice League.
The anti-social Justice League.
The Injustice League.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Right. So he said that he wouldn't call. They said they wouldn't use. No,
rape man.
Okay.
Sorry, that's Bill O'Reilly's little theme tune there in the gang of raping boys.
So Tucker said that they weren't going to use that the phrase, or they weren't going to use creepy porn lawyer. But the thing is, during the interview, they keep it up on the Cryon, the scrolling thing underneath.
Yeah.
They call him the creepy porn lawyer while he's on air underneath him, and he doesn't know it.
Well, that's really. That is the intellectual equivalent of having like underneath his name a massive dickhead.
Yeah, basically, or drawing a penis on his head. Yeah.
They don't have.
Which, by the way, when I get my news show, that will be happening to my guests.
That's why I love people like Stephen Colbert who call Bill O'Reilly Papa Bear, because they don't know, because it's an ironic, weird thing. And Bill O'Reilly still hates it.
Yeah, if you get a chance, go and watch Stephen Colbert when he was still doing the Colbert Report. His interview with Bill O'Reilly on Fox News. It's brilliant. Because essentially he wants to interview Stephen Colbert, the man from North Carolina, and he just stays in character and then essentially fawns on Bill O'Reilly the entire interview. It's fucking brilliant. He's basically taking the piss out of and laughing at Bill O'Reilly on his own show. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and it's also, why the lie? Why not Stephen Colbert? Why you're Irish? Why French? Yeah. Like French is an insult.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, French. That's the thing. French is an insult. I remember the thing that made me realise how, unfortunately, anti-education much of America is that John Kerry can speak French, and was told not to reveal that during the presidential run. Well, that's a huge advantage because not just France, but lots of African countries and stuff speak French.
Yeah.
So it would be a huge advantage for him to be able to communicate in the first tongue of various allies. He was told not.
Yeah, you had the same thing with there was a Republican candidate who spoke fluent Mandarin.
Yeah, John Huntsman.
John Huntsman.
Yeah.
And they mocked him for speaking a foreign language.
Yeah, exactly. He was told not to reveal that. But I mean, thankfully, I think it was Obama, wasn't it? Sent him to Beijing as his special envoy, which again shows him reaching across the aisle and using American expertise. And that's the point. It is expertise. It's a positive to be able to do these things. Yeah, ridiculous. Absolutely. I mean, really, it's imagine that. A fucking prick like Trump, who can't even speak his own fucking language, is lauded, and yet John Kerry and fucking John Huntsman, regardless of what you think of their politics, are clearly educated, intelligent guys who can speak other languages as well as speaking English rather well, and they have to hide it as if this is a shameful thing.
Okay,
the fuck?
But they can't make like good, because Trump is good at making slurs. And speaking of slurs. Perhaps it's good to go back to the video.
Oh, yeah. Should we get back to...
Henk, stop doing professional stuff. This is ridiculous. You're making us both look terrible by being good. By being moderately passable as a host, you're making us look bad.
And I'm the guest. I'm very sorry. I'm hijacking the show.
Yeah.
Everybody
go back to the chat with the rest of the fucking plebs. Fuck all of you.
All right, so while you guys were chatting, I scrubbed forward on the video because... what Tucker Carlson does for the first minute is start to ask Michael Avenatti questions about what he would do if he was president, if there were 100,000 Russians on the border, because Michael Avenatti compared the attacks on our last election as having as much consequence as 1,000 Russian troops massing on the border. And so that's complete nonsense. So I've kind of pushed through all of that because it's mostly Tucker talking. So we're going to pick it up about 3 minutes 41 in.
Have an interest in squabbling with you at all, or name calling. I've done a lot of that to you, and
right, but not to me. No, but not to my face.
I could, but what's the point? I want to take you seriously. I'm serious.
Okay.
So I just played a clip of what you said at a rally. You're traveling to states because you want to influence policy direction. Correct. I don't think it's unfair to ask you about something that you said.
Hang on. Whoa. Hang on. Time out. Oh, hello.
Yep. Yeah. It just takes me a few seconds because I have to like pause the videos.
Unacceptable. You have to do it instantly. I snap my fingers. Okay. The patriarchy insists. Anyways, I was just going to say, what does he have a problem with him? Doing rallies when he supports Trump, who does exactly the same thing, even though he's supposed to be doing, president stuff. And secondly, he's an American citizen. He's allowed to influence American politics. What's his issue?
Here's my thought. Tucker Carlson knew that Michael Avenatti was going to be on for about 10 minutes, and he had to figure out ways of filling that time and not letting Michael Avenatti talk about the case with Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump.
Which is difficult because that's basically all he's known for. Fair enough. That's that's his big deal, isn't it?
So he's asking him about his hypothetical position on Russians. I don't know which border they're massing on or something else.
Alaska. Yeah, Alaska, definitely. Because fucking, what's it called? She got foreign affairs experience because she can see Russia.
Sarah Palin,
Yeah, Sarah Palin. She can see Russia from Alaska. Yeah, the bit of Russia that no fucker lives in. Brilliant.
In which case, I think Michael Avenatti should have said, well, when they get through Canada and get near the U.S. border, Justin Trudeau should give me a call. But anyway.
Well, as South Park elucidated many years ago, the Canadians are coming. It's going to happen.
Good for them. How often?
Hey, about once every 5 minutes.
All right, so back to Tucker basically trying to fill time by here are his tactics.
It's ridiculous. It's like having Buzz Aldrin on your show and mentioning anything but the moon.
Yeah.
What?
So his tactics are, 1 is to ask ridiculous questions. 2, when Michael Avenatti gives an answer, to insist that he hasn't given an answer and ask him the same question again.
Because he gives answers.
Yeah. And also,
brilliant. Bring Michael Avenatti and go, so what's your opinion on cheese sandwiches, Michael?
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And then interrupting him.
Did you see the game last night, Mike? Hey.
Yes.
What about
that
those
was pretty
Patriots?
much it.
Ooh.
It was pretty much it. So here we go. Listen to Tucker squirm.
What he stated is, you said that Russia has done something that is equivalent to putting 100,000 troops on our border. That's an act of war.
Correct.
And I wonder 2 things. 1, what you would do as president if that happened under your watch. And 2, what do you think Russia thinks watching public figures like you say that we're at war with Russia? What effect do you think that has?
Well, firstly, we are at war with Russia. The idea that we're not is a ridiculous lie. And secondly,
Cold War.
Yeah, exactly. It's a second Cold War. It's been going for about a decade now. And secondly, who gives a fuck what Russia think, considering they've literally annexed part of Ukraine?
Apparently, Tucker is very worried about what Russia thinks about Michael Avenatti talking smack about them, I guess.
No. What I want to ask Tucker Carlson is, what does Tucker Carlson think about the fact that the Russian government have been imprisoning journalists?
He's afraid of him, so he doesn't say anything.
Well,
Murdering
journalists. So
murdering journalists. Well, okay, but he claims to be. He claims to be a journalist, and the Russian state have been murdering journalists.
Doesn't claim to be a news show in court because they said no, we're entertainment. He's an anchor.
Well, obviously, yeah, of course, yeah. But I mean, they consider themselves journalists. I know they do.
Well, they say they're journalists when it suits them. They know deep down inside, they're pundits. That's all they are.
Well, I think deep down inside they know they're hacks. It's not just punditry.
Yeah,
Punditry suggests you're giving an actual opinion, whereas we know from the
give them
we
too
know
much credit. I'm too nice again.
we know exactly. Stop being Dutch. Jesus, you're in Germany. Start invading someone. Fucking hell. Anyway,
I invaded Germany.
You did. Well, both of you did. All I'm going to say is I'm the only one living in the country of my birth. Fucking immigrants. They're everywhere. I mean, last week we had a Kiwi in America. This time we've got a Dutchman in Germany. Just stay where you're from, for fuck's sake. Anyway, we know from various examples. Sorry?
Aren't you part Scottish?
Well, my family are from Scotland and Ireland, yes. But it's basically the same bit. We're just some rocks just off Europe.
Town.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fine.
All right, so sorry. Yeah, I didn't scrub forward enough, so we're gonna.
No, I was just gonna say we know from various examples, including the Blaire White thing, that previously it was Roger Ailes, whoever is now the fucking head honcho, whichever rapist in the future is in charge now, is dictating these things via Rupert Murdoch. It's the hosts
Rupert
don't
Murdoch
actually
is
have
not
any
in
opinions
charge,
of their
no.
own.
What I heard is that his sons are in charge, but he's also his sons are in charge, and he also is really on top of things.
Well, yeah, Rupert Murdoch always has. Rupert Murdoch has phone conversations with his editors of newspapers every week to tell them what to write.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, talking about foreign interference in elections, we've got an Australian who's been interfering with British and American elections for decades now.
Yeah, yes, quite. Very much so. Yeah. He and Putin. Actually, Putin was doing it after Murdoch.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Murdoch was the OG at interfering in foreign elections. That motherfucker got into the ground. Putin, this fucking Johnny come lately, he's been doing it fucking 15 years. Jesus Christ.
He's only manipulating social media. I'm doing newspapers and television stations.
Yeah, Rupert Murdoch was doing it when fucking Vladimir Putin was a little fucking pen pusher at the KGB. Jesus.
Original, yeah.
It was barely a twinkle in the fucking postman's eye when Rupert Murdoch was doing this.
Well, should we see the sour results of that twinkle by listening to a bit more Tucker Carlson?
Let's.
Question that Russia interfered with the 2016 election in a very serious way. The only question is, what was the involvement in Donald Trump or by Donald Trump and his cronies in the process? And that's what Bob Mueller's in the process of getting to the bottom of.
But how should we as a country respond?
There you go, interrupted me again. So how should we respond?
Yes, I asked you it 3 times.
We should respond with the absolute force of the law. We should be doing everything in our power to bring those individuals to justice, those individuals that are also in Russia. And let me tell you what we should not be doing. We should not be standing shoulder to shoulder with Vladimir Putin and choosing Russia over the hardworking men and women of the intelligence community that risk their lives for this country. The president has sold out the United States.
So the administration announced today a new round of even tougher sanctions against Russia. Do you support that?
I think it's a start, but I don't think it's
what would be the end?
I don't think it's a step in the right direction. I don't think the president has shown any leadership relating
sanctions are not a step in the right direction.
No, I said time out. Just we're going to have to pull Tucker up on this. He wasn't the one doing this. He has fought sanctions at every step. When Congress passed, I think he signed off on the first one when, just after he'd been not ushered in. What the word? Made president, whatever the fuck it's called. And the second lot of sanctions, he refused. They sat on his table for 6 months.
Well, and another thing that Tucker leaves out of this is that right now, going through the House and the Senate are another sanctions bill. This is my understanding. There's another bill going through, and his executive order was basically to preempt doing something harsher in the House and Senate.
Yeah. And he met, of course, with Putin in private without another American in the room. I mean, what could possibly be more suspicious than that? Literally.
I love how Avenatti just goes right for the Trump is betraying America, and he's just, going right at the core.
He's going for the vein. Like I said, he's a shark.
Going for the jugular. Yeah. So, shall we keep going then?
Yes. Let's listen to this floundering dolphin.
I believe that President Trump should demand the extradition of each and every individual in Russia that Bob Mueller and others believe were responsible for the election meddling in 2016.
Sorry, apologies. I think it's slightly. I don't want to criticize necessarily Avenatti because I think he's doing the right thing. In theory, you should call for the extradition of those people. But as we saw in Britain just this week, actually, with the 2 who clearly poisoned the Skripals in Salisbury, the 2 Russian agents, the British government have not sought the extradition of those 2 because they know that the Russian government will not acquiesce to it. It's literally in the Russian constitution that they won't extradite Russian citizens to foreign nations, which is ridiculous and fucking needs to be changed, but they're not going to because it's a dictatorship. Let's not pretend there's any actual fucking law being made there or whatever.
It's not democratic.
Yeah, it's entirely undemocratic, of course. And so what we've done is put out a red notice on Interpol. So if those two Russians ever travel outside the country, they can be held by the country they travelled to and extradited to Britain.
Yeah.
Their interview was laughable, by the way. They were going to visit the
Yes.
Spire to dudes who are into sports. Going to visit the Spire in what was the town?
Salisbury Cathedral.
Salisbury.
Yeah, they were really interested in Salisbury Cathedral. Yeah, of course they did. Yeah, just two random Russians that we know work for the Russian intelligence service. Yeah, of course.
And they knew exactly to the meters how tall it was. So
yeah, and I think that now the British intelligence service have now counted 21 now with this new set of nonsense. 21 different official stories from the Russian government as to the actual truth of the poisoning, which included one rather bizarre one where the soon-to-be mother-in-law of the daughter, Yulia Skripal, was apparently guilty of poisoning them. Of course. Yeah, of course she is.
Sure.
Absolutely. You disgusting bastards. And by the way, I'm not defending anything that the Skripals may or may not have done in the past. The father was a KGB agent. I'm sure he was a prick. But you can't be murdering people in foreign countries that way. It's disgusting.
So, and just to, in Michael Avenatti's, not really so much defense, but he came on this program to talk about his client and her case.
Yeah.
And what he ends up being asked about is his position on what foreign policy should be toward Russia after, sanctions. I mean, he was I think he did a good job about bringing it back to the law, which is what he knows. So
it really would have been brilliant to just see Tucker Carlson come on and be like, so what do you think about agricultural policy? What should we do about subsidies for Midwest farmers? To Michael Avenatti, just to avoid talking about any porn stars or anything.
I do love the way you see him lean in, Michael Avenatti, and you go like, he's going for the kill. And in the end, you see Tucker Carlson is just flustered. He just
does he lean in and go for a quick kiss?
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
Now you can't beat a good love story, and that would be a mental love story. Jesus.
Yes, those two, they got together. Those crazy
you know what?
kids.
If they want to put the video out, I'll watch. Definitely. There's no way I'm not watching that.
All right, should we get on with it then? So maybe they'll kiss at the end. Maybe there's
a grainy home video of Michael Avenatti and Tucker Carlson fucking like rabbits. Who's not watching
that? Everybody's watching that. Okay.
Exactly.
I think that's a start. Okay, that's a start. But if you really believe that's the same as 100,000, what I'm saying is you're using reckless rhetoric on a subject you don't really understand that increases the temperature.
Hang on, whoa. Time though.
No, let's wait for the response.
Hang on. No. I'm not letting him get away with that bollocks. Right. You fucking piece of shit, Carlson. You and your nonsense about white South African genocide and all this shit is exactly that. Using reckless language about a topic you don't fucking understand, to the point where it's now, because the president of the United States gets his fucking ideas about policy, international affairs policy, from fucking Fox News. Now that's official American government policy. They're going to interfere with the internal processes of the South African government because of your reckless bullshit. So you can fuck off with accusing other people, you cock.
Yeah, well, that's basically Avenatti's response.
But not with fewer cocks.
Yeah, fewer cocks.
Well, I'm sorry. That's not enough cocks then, because I thought I was being rather moderate with my usage of cocks.
No, but I think the cocks are implied. There's a hint.
Are we talking Courtney Cox again? Because she keeps appearing in this fucking conversation.
No, this is without Courtney. This is just multiple. A bag full of them.
A bag full of cocks. Or a good Friday night, as I like to think of it.
Okay, on we go.
Is that a responsible thing to do?
I think under the circumstances, I stand by my words, and I think for you to...
But it's 100,000 troops on the border?
I think for you to lecture me about reckless rhetoric is rather ironic, Tucker, in light of some of the reckless rhetoric that you engage in each and every day on this show.
Reckless rhetoric, okay. So, you said...
Hang on, whoa, the pivot there just fucking took the earth off its axis, didn't it?
I think I got a neck injury from how quickly he twisted to a different point.
Tucker Carlson just got fucking whiplash from his own nonsense there. Yeah.
No, he just. I think Avenatti just scorched him.
Yeah. like I said,
that's it.
He is to continue the shark analogy. He is a floundering dolphin that just got fucking hit by Jaws.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a bigger boat, motherfucker.
All right, so we're on minute like 6:50, 6:16, and this is 14 minutes long. So I think it's too long for a happy hour. But I wanted to give everyone a taste of how delicious this meal was. This is like my favorite debate meal this week. So go watch Michael Avenatti eat up Tucker Carlson. We've got some of the highlights here, but but it's worth watching start to finish just to see him own Tucker, and also the really fake ass laugh that Tucker Carlson laughs at his own joke at the end, and just to wrap things up and kind of use up time. It's so pathetic.
It's like when you see the last joke, he makes a joke. It's like he crapped himself and then laughed about it.
Yeah.
That's basically, I soiled myself.
Let's play that bit then.
Oh, at the very end, I'd have to figure out where that. Okay. Yeah, I think I know where it is. But another thing,
but I want to make
you
this.
Can do.
I want to make this more technically challenging for you, so I just want to fuck with you and say, let's play that bit, and then scroll back a little bit and play that bit, and then play the end bit.
A fun game a fun game to play while watching this video is see how many times you could mistake Tucker Carlson for Carl Benjamin. So try that too. Okay, so I think we're near the end here. Okay, so I scrubbed it and then.
I'm representing my client to the absolute.
So when she wants to get your legal advice, does she have to pretend to be a booker from CNN to get through to you?
That's disgusting. Why don't you show
What's
some
disgusting
respect?
is
Why don't you show some respect to my client and me and stop calling us a porn star and a creepy porn lawyer? If you've got that big a problem with porn, do you have that big a problem
I'm
with
not
porn?
making fun of.
When's the last time? When's the last time you saw porn?
Oh, you busted me. Actually, I made humiliation porn. That's why I watch you on CNN.
No, but when's the last time you? When's the last time you viewed porn?
You're a little creepier even than I realized.
That's it. That's it. I'm into humiliation porn, so I watch you on CNN. That's what he said. And it's so sad because he's the only one laughing, and it's laughing because he's scared.
Yeah.
Because he's like in the water, like the opening scene from Jaws. Like.
Also, who wants to bet he actually is into humiliation porn?
Well, it did pop to mind pretty quickly for him, didn't it? It's the first thing he reached for.
Well,
it's the first thing he reached for.
Exactly. I'm definitely not into a black cuckolding porn. Honest, I'm not. It's fine. It's fine.
Right.
Like drop that. Yeah. That's quite specific.
Or is it? Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
So again, that's just that's a highlight for your day. So go enjoy that. Yum yum yum. And I enjoyed it. I think more the second time because I knew it was coming.
Who wants to bet that Tucker Carlson gets found in some sort of sex dungeon dressed as a baby?
Wait, that look on his face?
Being spat on by a dominatrix, definitely.
Being spooled by Bill O'Reilly. I think that would be great.
Again,
Tucker and Bill together also.
Again, if they're going to release that, I'll watch. Definitely.
I'll watch that too. I'll make popcorn.
I'll watch it on fucking pay-per-view.
So you want to do your bit?
We'll
talk about a bit about Manafort, and then we'll wrap it up. So also to the chat, I'm sorry, I can't quite tell whether or not my sound is really soft, and if it is, for which I apologize, it means also that the Michael Avenatti bit probably blew your speakers out. So what I will do is I'll take this down, and I'll remix the sound and re-upload it, and I will then give that version to Kevin so that it's a bit better and easier to listen to.
No, fuck the chat. Fuck them. What's the point?
This is for the audience.
Yeah, but who cares? The audience are fucking. Oh
We're here for
God.
us.
These lower class oh God. Oh, peasants
one day
everywhere.
I'm in the palace. I'm in the palace today. And
Exactly,
I'm roaming in the slums.
But tomorrow, you're digging up turnips on the fucking patch with the rest of them. Get back to work.
All right, so you're going to talk about Miller.
Yeah.
Mueller, sorry.
Mueller. First of all, I was talking to Kristi about this as well. The way I love the way Mueller looks. I just want to say that he looks like he's made from granite.
Hank and Robert sitting in the tree.
Oh, I wouldn't mind his strong arms around me. Oh,
Yeah.
but no, the way he was able to flip Manafort, because Manafort is now cooperating with the Mueller team. So that's really something. I never expected that, especially after the first trial. He didn't flip after the first trial, on which there were like 18 counts of like fraud and tax evasion, etc. And now to have a deal, and there was a prosecutor on MSNBC, and that person said, okay, if he flipped and they're willing to talk about a reduced sentence, he must have something big. And for those
she
who are
said.
not, yeah, but because for those not in tune with everything that's happening with Trump, because it's a lot, Paul Manafort was present at the meeting the world's dumbest son, Don Jr., tweeted about. So yeah, we were there about dirt on Hillary Clinton. He was there, Paul Manafort, and he took notes. So he knows exactly what happens, and he's willing to tell Mueller that now, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the potential is enormous. That'd be awesome.
We also saw AM Joy, and on AM Joy they said, well, from a legal perspective, you have Cohn. Cohn is dangerous to Trump, but Manafort is dangerous to the entire organization because he was like head of the organization, of the political organization. And yeah, that's kind of a big day. And it's strange to say that about Trump, considering they say every week, oh, this is a bad week for Trump. They've been saying that for months now.
It's been a bad year.
It's been it's been horrible. But this week, if you look now at the most important people in of the campaign, they're all either indicted, found guilty, or are cooperating, which is absurd. And the fact that he's still sitting there without they even started the impeachment is, I think, it shows that the GOP is complicit in every way.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We discussed this last time, didn't we, Kristi? The history will look back on people like Paul Ryan and Rand Paul and all the rest of them as the traitors that they are.
Yeah. This week also came out, and this is related, and we didn't discuss this, that Lindsey Graham received like, what is it, $700,000 from a Russian oligarch or something related to a Russian oligarch.
Yeah, but I'm sure that was just because he did some roofing at his house. I'm sure that was.
Yeah, sure.
There was nothing. Yeah. There was nothing untoward there. He just put a bit of shale down. It was fine. There's nothing corrupt about this at all. It's fine.
I've always find it interesting how easy they forget the enormous amount of money they get and the important people they talk to. It's very interesting.
It slipped my mind that I was talking to a Russian oligarch linked to Vladimir Putin, and he gave me millions of dollars. No, I was just, we were just chatting, and he said, "Oh, do you want some money? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, see you next week."
What was his name? Jeff Sessions. How many times is it? I can't recall. I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly. For a man who's supposed to like be dealing with legal matters, he seems to forget rather a lot, doesn't he? Which isn't ideal.
Yeah, he knows. I bet he knows every black guy he hates. Let's put it that way. He's like, oh no.
Well, how can he hate every? How can he remember every black guy?
Oh, he remembers. The hatred is deep.
No, you missed the joke. You said every black guy he hates, and I said, how can he remember every black guy? As in, he hates every black guy. Never mind.
Oh, like they're all.
Yeah.
Got it. Yes.
Jesus
I didn't
Christ.
get it either. I'm glad you know. Thanks for walking us through that. Because
that's fine. Well, I'm glad because that's always good to walk through a joke afterwards. That always adds to the humor.
Explain afterwards.
That makes it better.
Now, I'll give Henk a pass because he's not only is he Dutch, which is a weird language, but it's his second language. So
that's true.
Like, okay, fair enough. But you're American, and in theory, you're supposed to speak English.
I have a degree in it, so perhaps I should hand it in now. Because
you have a degree in English.
I have a degree in English, yeah.
Well, I would ask for your money back. Definitely. No, I'm only joking. Your English is absolutely superb.
Yes.
But yeah, I generally with foreigners, if I tell a joke which is based on like semantics like that, I let them off because you just think, well, an English speaker should get it, but if it's a second language, they can communicate perfectly well, but puns aren't necessarily great for them or whatever.
It's not the first place you go to. Puns are rather sophisticated wordplay, so you have to have a pretty.
Well, exactly, and
I'm not saying people don't get it, but you have to assume someone has a certain level of knowledge to assume that they should have gotten it in the first place.
Well, this is the thing. English is a foreign language. Clearly, they don't focus on puns enough. They focus on like basic communication and making yourself understood. Yeah.
Spelling.
I had a guy in college, also studied English, of course, and he loved puns, and his name was Peter. He called himself Peter Pun.
Oh yes.
Worthy.
Okay. So I want the phone number of the communist kangaroo and that dude and Peter Pun. Yeah. Definitely.
And then I want all of you to go out to dinner and record the conversation because that would be fascinating.
I think the communist kangaroo is just going to be angry, an angry communist kangaroo, talking about this is not what Marx would have wanted.
Exactly. He's just like, well, talking to puns are clearly reactionary. That clearly, obviously, Peter, you Dutch prick. And he's going, whoa, there's no need to be nasty.
Something else from someone else, right? Your puns isn't an original work. You're taking some other person's labor and then profiting off of it.
Oh God, we're going to get ANCAP kangaroos calling in now. Jesus, it's going to be a fucking nightmare.
Well, on that bombshell.
hopping, taxation on hopping is theft. That's what it is.
Does that seem like a good place to leave things off?
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, I mean, they let us stay for an extra 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the bar, so we should be probably getting on our way.
Exactly, and that's after I pissed all over the floor in the toilet.
Don't say it out loud till after we leave the bar, Kevin.
Yeah,
well, at least I didn't take a shit in the fucking in the sink this time. Jesus.
Okay, that was the kangaroo this time.
Exactly.
His pouch was full.
Hang on, his pouch was full.
Yeah.
Yes.
The men don't have pouches.
Well, this one does.
Well, oh my God, it's a transgender communist kangaroo.
It is now.
This is the future liberals want.
Yes, it is. I think someone should make a comic of that, by the way, a transgender communist kangaroo.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't draw for shit, but people who do, please.
Yeah, I can't draw either. Well, my favorite thing, and I've still got the book. It was like a school drawing book, exercise book from school when I was about 10. And there's a drawing of a horse, and the horse has wheels for feet.
Oh, that's great. But didn't you draw? Isn't there a Kevin Logan who draws really muscular animals?
Yes. Well, no. There isn't a Kevin Logan. There's a Kurt Logan.
Oh yeah, Kurt Logan. That's it.
Who Davis already? Because he called me Kurt Logan. It's a whole thing anyway. Basically, my alter ego is Kurt Logan, right? But there's an actual real person called Kurt Logan who draws. He's actually a very, very good artist, right? He does like comic books and stuff. But on the side, he draws phenomenal, like grotesquely muscular animals with fucking enormous cocks. Like not just like normal compared to the size.
I love that so much.
But it'd be like about half the size of the animal on top. Like it'll be like the normal size horse with incredibly muscular, and the cock will be about half the size of the horse as well. It's just
is it around the size of Courtney cocks?
Ironically, yes. And you don't want to be caught dancing in the dark with these animals, is all I'll say. Because it will split you in two.
In twain.
Exactly.
I love
like Shania Twain?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't like that very much.
Yeah. Well, you should have said, that don't impress me. No, you should have said that don't impress me much.
Oh, bollocks. That's what I meant.
Oh, you're right.
That's what I meant.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, that would have been perfect.
Oh.
I think I would have died if you would have said that, though. I would have laughed so hard I couldn't breathe.
Yes. Anyway.
So that was the extra. That's what you said.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, this is. Oh, bollocks! Were we supposed to be doing this on Audacity?
Yeah, I think it was too complicated with the
Yeah,
special
because
guest
I
and
haven't.
the moving
I totally
rooms. Yeah.
forgot.
I did too. It's all right.
Henk, we'll blame Henk for all the problems.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Well, yeah, we just
Yeah.
kept talking about stuff like Mueller's chin line and what were we saying about him? I was saying he was going to be played by Tom Hanks.
And I said he was 30 years younger. Clint Eastwood would have
No.
played him.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think Tom Hanks has got quite the build, and he could bulk up, but I don't think so. I see.
Just
You
put-
know who I see?
Put like that bunting, that sort of bubble wrap in his suit.
I
Bulk
think
him out.
now he's at a certain age. I think Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt as Robert Mueller. No,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
too sexy.
No, still?
What? Robert Mueller's too sexy.
Yeah, Robert Mueller. Yeah, I think that's true.
Fair enough.
I see pictures of him now, and what did somebody on a talk show said great that right now Trump with his the people going in are for Mueller.
I'd let Mueller flip me, definitely.
Yeah. All right, now
Oh,
that
yeah,
bombshell.
like a pancake. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Sorry for the technical problems, but having Hank on the show made it all worth it. So, until next time, go check out Kevin's channel, obviously, on mine. If you are here, why aren't you subbing to him? You should already have him in your subscription feed. Also, go to Culture Shots and check and sub there as well. Very
Yes.
recently, 2 months ago, I appeared with Kristi on Hank's channel, and we discussed the Laramie Project.
Oh, without Kristi.
Without Kristi. Then last month we were on Kristi's channel, and next month we're going to be on mine. But if you want to get caught up before my episode, go check out his and hers before you come to me.
And you did a radicalism and poetry thing as well.
Yeah, with Kristi. That's episode 2. Yeah.
It was very good.
I mirrored it on my channel eventually, but yes, but that will be So, but go to Kristi's channel, watch it. It's the original version. Go to Culture Shots as well. And Hank, do you want to say anything to the people before we leave?
Yeah. I'll see you next week, guys.
All right. And back in the chat, right?
Back in the chat. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Well,
you
you
know
did-
what? We
you
had a
did-
distinct lack of fuck yous to the chat this
Well, you did.
this-
No, I slipped a couple in, so to speak.
That's what.
Yeah, that's what she said. Is there
That's
any room for a small one? Absolutely. You did well there. You could have lorded it over the peasants this week, but you know you're going to be back amongst the feral stock next week. So wise move, I
Deep in
think.
shit next
Yeah,
week.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, in the chat. Back in the chat. I think that's everything. So thanks to the chat. You guys have been awesome. Thanks to
No,
people.
no,
We'll
they
see you in the
haven't.
future.
They're fucking
You've got
dreadful.
some
Fuck
too.
off, all of you.
Say goodbye, Hank, from Culture. Yeah, sorry. I just rewound that.
You know,
Goodbye,
no.
Hank.
Hang on. Whoa.
Goodbye. Oh,
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I did the bit.
You don't do a second take. The bit is natural. Whatever the fuck comes out of Kristi's mouth, you have to say.
And
Slog.
Kevin, say bye-bye from the naughty boy.
Hello?
Are you still there? Did we miss it?
Oh,
you
did I
went
cut
dead.
out? Oh, bollocks. I was doing a great bit about Anchorman. Never mind. That's lost to the ether. Okay.
Well, maybe it'd be picked up on the audio for them, but not for us. So did
Yeah.
you say naughty boy?
Did I? What?
Did
No,
you
obviously
say-
I didn't fucking hear what you
didn't hear
said.
us. All right, so I said, say goodbye, naughty boy.
Goodbye, naughty boy.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm.
Which is
I can't find
ironically
my
a
button.
thing that Tucker Carlson likes to say as well.
No, but luckily it's right.
No, it's on the bottom. Okay,
Oh, the
bye.
bottom.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Technical issues.
Fuck off.
Bye.